the thing.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
sharing.
then we are live now. Please go ahead.
Ayush, voice is not coming.
We can move ahead with the session. Hello everyone. So we guys are just going to start the session. Is Antrix here also with us? I mean, we can't see.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. Cindy, you can start the session.
Acha, Rahul, you want us to start with it, or you guys want to talk about or give any background?
Yeah, we
We'll give a small introduction, sir, and then
Sure.
hand it over.
Go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and aspiring interns, welcome to our session on navigating the world of internships. Today, we have the privilege of hosting two remarkable individuals who are here to share their experience and insights. Before we delve into the introductions, I'm thrilled to announce that this session is a collaboration effort between SPC, that is the Student Placement Council, Gatehouse, and Solitary Club. Now, without further ado, let's hear from our collaborators their introduction.
Is there anyone from SPC over here? Sundesh?
Yes. So a very warm welcome to all the esteemed guests here. So I am Sundaresh Karthik Ganesan from the Student Placement Council of IIT Madras BS degree. So the Student Placement Council is a separate independent student body that acts as a bridge between the students and the placement cell of the IIT Madras. So our essential functions is to improve the structures and policies by reaching out to different companies for recruitment. And we assist the students in training and preparation for the job interviews as well by giving them various trainings in different domains, and we also help in their resumes and their soft skills. And that is it from the Student Placement Council of IIT Madras. Yes, thank you.
Vignesh, can you please introduce Gatehouse?
First of all, thank you, Solitary and SPC, for this session. IITM BS degree has a student body, student representative body, which is called the System of Houses. There are 12 houses in the IITM BS degree. Gatehouse is one of them. And I am the secretary of Gatehouse, Vignesh Mishra.
Thank
Uh,
you. Yeah, Tanush, please introduce Solitary.
Hello, good evening to esteemed guests and everyone. Solitary is a community created for standalones and full-time BS students in this degree. As this is an online degree, we have dual degree students and full-time and professionals too. So this community supports all the students to enhance their skills and grow together. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanush. Now that our collaborators have introduced themselves, let us extend our warm invitation to our distinguished guests to take the stage and share their invaluable insights. First up, we have Mr. Shobit Saxena, an Associate Director at Genzen with an impressive background as an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad. He brings over 2 decades of invaluable experience, having worked with renowned brands such as Snapdeal, Power2 SME, Z Media, and Horizon in New Jersey. His wealth of expertise adds immense value to our discussion today, guiding us through the intricacies of securing the perfect. Rahul?
Please continue. Yes.
Uh, Joining Shobit sir is our second guest, a true powerhouse in the realm of generative AI and data science, cloud computing, with an outstanding record as a LinkedIn top voice, having certifications from both Google Cloud Platform as well as Amazon Web Services. Our guest is none other than Mr. Antriksh Gupta, Senior Manager of Data and AI Practices at Genzen. Together, they'll debunk myths, reveal realities, and offer invaluable tips and tricks for landing your best fit internship. So stay excited. Without further ado, let's fill our virtual space with resounding applause for our esteemed guests. Let's make our guests feel warm of gratitude by utilizing the clap reaction from the emoji section of this Zoom meet. Please do use that in between the session as well. So over to you, sir.
Sure. So I hope everyone is focused and not multitasking. Normally, the online classes have made everyone an expert of how to do multitasking. So let's see how many people are actually on the camera. So others, if you are decent and come on the camera, I know. So good. I will request whoever can come on the camera, please do that. See, in the virtual setup, this feedback, the only way we can get feedback is by looking at the camera, right? I mean, you will not be able to unmute yourself very easily or talk about or interfere in between. Even if somebody has had question, you can just raise your hand, right? It will be very easy to really get that feedback. So that's my request. It's a large audience. Firstly, I'm glad that you all joined. So Antariksha and I, we both are from Zen Zion company. We hope that Gen Z people like you,
Shobit sir, you're muted.
yeah, I think the admin might have tried. Am I audible now? So I was just telling about, so that's Gen Zion, our company. And over here, I think my colleague Antariksh would be more apt and adding a lot of insights, being the top I mean, I would say he's one of the India's top voices for Gen AI. All big players in the technology, be it Geo, Google, Amazon, Azure, they look towards him to really say, hey, can you collaborate with us and give us some proof in the Indian market? Because you all understand the Indian market is very different from the developed market. So I'm pretty sure, and he himself being a data science expert, I think that's why I requested him to come along with me and then advise you all on how you can really set your path as a career professional in data science. So before we actually start talking about internship and I bring up my slide, I just want to understand how many of you have prior experience when you started doing this program under IIT Madras. Uh, just by raise of hands, any experience is relevant, right? Where you can say that you have prior experience. And looks like I cannot count the number of hands, right? Does Zoom make it easy? 2 hands. No, I can see the count if I click on the participants. Is it fair to assume only four people among this entire group of 70 have prior experience? All of you are directly from college? Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so most of the students are actually the recent 12 pass outs, so they have enrolled
That's
for
what.
this program.
Correct. So I think this is more relevant. I mean, thanks for that vote, right? It helps us really know the audience. I think that is one of the things which we learn know our audience. So how do you guys want to take it forward? See, let me see if I can share my screen. Although we have made small slides just to organize the discussion forward, but then we want to keep it interactive. I have seen a couple of questions which your team, you guys shared while registering for the event. We'll try to cover those questions as well, but then we want this to be more interactive. I am okay to even keep you guys unmuted. Feel free to unmute yourself and you can talk in between, interrupt myself or Antariksh. Uh, so I'll set the context. Antariksh, you can also jump in, right? Two of us. And again, the slides I'm just giving you guys a flavor, right? So only 5, 6 slides. And they are just to organize our discussions forward. I want you all to really get involved. When you all hear word internship, I just want to talk about this, that we might see all the roses, but then each rose is different, right? Somebody will start calling small rows, big rows by color. You can differentiate by different things. Similarly, when you hear internship, by now, some of you have worked, I think only handful, may know how internships are different. For people who have not done the online search or have not really spoken with the seniors a lot, you can have internships of different colors. I mean, varieties. There could be paid or unpaid internship. And I will not call anything as bad. It's again depends on personal choice. If you're not unpaid internships are good when you're learning while doing the job and you're not an expert in that area. But if somebody, if you claim that no, I know Java and I'm doing a internship as a Java programmer, and the other company is not paying you, that could mean exploitation. So there's a, as an individual, you have to find what is right for you. There is nothing right and wrong, I would say. It again depends what the company is offering. So paid and unpaid, part time or full time. You are studying online, maybe you can actually go for full time internships as well, managing your online classes, which are recorded. Virtual or in person, in this age, virtual internships can help, but then in person internship will give you different kind of skill set. And again, it is up to individual to decide what kind of skills they want to acquire by becoming an intern. Some internship may focus on doing research work, even as a data science students of IIT Madras, you can do some kind of research, you can go into practical training, where the other company may teach you. Somebody might say that, okay, I will teach you how to do coding on GeoGlass or do something, learn new library, say R, they will teach you R and then make you work on R. So all things are possible and they may make you work on specific projects. So that's about different internships. And Antish, if you want to highlight any differences or what you have seen, what you have offered to different people on a variety of internships.
Okay, so the main thing for the internship, like it is mentioned, many colors of internship, right? So it can be a paid, it can be a unpaid, it can be a full time, it can be a part time. Okay,
Mhm.
but mostly the trend I have seen, generally students looks the internship for the paid. They doesn't like the unpaid internship where you get the learning skills. Like I totally agree. Like people just want to earn something from for their pockets. That's fine. But sometimes what happens? Some organizations give you very good reason to join it, to learn. Like few organizations are good into a very domain specific. Okay, so you will get the domain knowledges. Like if I just give you a simple example, you go into your first job and that organization is development, doing the development on ERP systems. You are from the AI ML background, so they are doing the recommendation systems. Okay, but if we just simply talk about what are the core things that is required for the recommendation engines. Okay, how the webs you got the recommendations on Amazon or Flipkart or any or your Netflix or any other OTT platforms. Okay, so did you go through it? See, normally the knowledge that you are getting from your colleges, from your degree, okay, it is actual work culture is a bit different. Actual knowledge that you will get it, that you get it in your job when you write your first line of a code, whether it's optimized or not, whether it works with the integration of the other teams or not, other teams of code or not. Okay, so that is more institutional thing that generally students should explore, like a collaborative work. Okay, like you are doing your projects in-house in your college for your profiles or anything, but if you just do it with a collaboration, so you will be able to understand how the multiple teams collaborate with each other in the enterprise environment. So that I can add you. So hope it's worked for everyone.
Yeah, it makes sense actually.
So I think I'll move on to next one. This is what Antrish started talking about, right? Benefits of intern. Why go for internship? You should understand the reasons also. Why you want to, as an individual student, what is it you're looking for to get into internship? One is definitely to highlight skill development, sharpen your technical skills as well as develop a soft skill, like even organizing such events that you guys are doing. I can definitely say the core members of the three groups that are collaborating today, they will develop speaking skills, which is again important when you're facing an interview, when you're talking to a customer or to a colleague. You'll gain confidence. Some of you might feel hesitant that, hey, maybe you're not very comfortable in English, but then after practicing rehearsing, you'll realize that no, I can become confident. I can speak smoothly on English. So that is one part of soft skill development. Why you want to interact with others? Why you want to go into an office setup or deal with others? Second big advantage which I've seen is you get involved with a mentor, and mentor will definitely help you. Not many of you would have definitely come from a background where your uh, parents or relatives may not be from IIT background, right? And you would want somebody to guide you that, hey, what can you do to make effective use of where you are, where your career path can go, how the world will change in the next 4 years. So having that mentor really helps. Even after having more than 2 decades of experience, I will say that I still look towards my mentor, where he guides, not even in professional life, but sometimes in personal life as well. That uh, again, a good mentor will not give you a solution, but they will open that, have you thought from this angle, have you thought from that angle. So finding a good mentor is, again, you have to be lucky to find a good mentor. But then primary one of the reasons of getting into internship could be maybe you find a good mentor who will keep on helping you develop your skills. Industry exposure, you all are trying to get into a college, I mean, in the end, you all want a good brand name and a job. But then industry exposure is what will help you understand what the trend is. Sometimes the college curriculum may not be up to date. Doing side projects may really help you know what is industry really, where is it going. Um, and I think looking at what tools and techniques are there in the market. I'm not sure whether the college has allowed you to do really use Copilot and other things. But then if you start doing internship, maybe you will end up in a company where they will say, we are not really looking for knowing you. I mean, you will not be judged by whether you know the syntax or not, but you will be judged whether you can do logical thinking on a programming or in solving a problem. Because syntax, these days, even a LLM, Gen AI bot can also give out the syntax. That if you say, I want to just write a for loop for doing this, for opening a file or reading these files, it will give you the syntax. But then you can use your intelligence to really see how are you, what problem are you solving, how are you doing. So knowing those tools will help as a that will give you industry exposure. Career advancement, definitely I've seen. I mean, this is, I think, one of the goals that when you get into internship, in 4 years of in your 4 years of curriculum, you can do 3, 4 internships. And who knows? I mean, if the company likes you and you like the company, you may go for a full-time employment post your graduation. So it's definitely one of the path for career advancement. And then lately, yes, knowing about what industry standards, methodologies, how the real world collaborates, knowing industry best practices is what's going to help you all. So this is what I feel that benefits of interning could be. Now I want you to, I want to hear from you all, right? What do you see as benefits of internship? Why you're interested in the topic, and what is your thought process? I mean, I did not mention the salary part, uh, but again, as Antesh highlighted, right? It's okay to really go for starting to earn, and some of you may generally want to help your curriculum as well, and some of you might be just looking for your pocket money to spend. So, even that is a perk of doing
Mhm.
internship. But then, what other perks do you see?
Just wanted to mention some one thing, that the beauty of this IIT BS program that they guys have introduced is that it's an online program. So people can go for an internship even during their studies in an off. Am I audible?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So usual, full-time BTech program or BS program, the students have to go to the college and attend the college. So only during the summer vacations or winter vacations, they can go for an internships because they don't get that kind of bandwidth. So do you recommend that people should start focusing on being an intern right after learning some basic skills related to machine learning, data science. Do you recommend any such thing? The question is for both of you.
Yeah, yeah. Antrish, do you want to add anything on benefits or want to address the question?
Yes. So according to me, if you are learning only the basics, okay, in today's time, it won't help you to get the internship because market is very much competitive. Okay. So though you are doing the online, but there are a few people, those who are doing the offline degrees as well. Okay. So you are in your first year, might be in a third year of IIT Chennai regular program, people is also looking for the internship. Okay. So they are not coming with the basic knowledge. So your competition is not with your batchmates. Your competition is with the people, those who are doing the regular degrees as well. Okay. So that is another challenge that you might face. So basic knowledge in today's time won't work according to me. Okay. And I might be wrong. It can help in a few organizations, in a few, if you talk about the startups culture, sorry, I have worked with the multiple startups. I do the consultings as well with the startups and the organizations and the enterprises. Normally, in internships, what they look exactly into the candidate should be adaptable with the new things. A gel up thing should be into the candidate that he can collaborate with multiple teams. Okay, so though if it is a very small startup, you are getting the assignment to assignments and you are doing it, it won't create much impact on your profile. Rather, doing a big 6 months or 8 months or 9 months or a year long internship in a good company. Okay, I totally agree. In a year, if you are doing a 3 months internship into the four organizations, you can get to know more what the type of products they are building, what type of a team they have, what kind of a work they do. But in a longer term, it won't helpful because in a 3 months, what you will learn, 15-20 days will go normally into the training part to understand the team structure, to understand the product, to evaluate the codes of current code base of the 15-20. That is the mean. When we talk about the 15-20 days, that's mean it's a month because we generally works 20-22 days in a month. Saturday, Sunday is off in the corporates, right? So in the next 2 months, what will you learn? So try to grab the internship into the longer term and don't rush or don't hurry to get into the internship. First, learn, build your solid uh, background on a particular topic. If you're okay to go with set, okay, I'm good with OpenCV, that is fine. If you said, I'm good at NumPy, I'm good with the Pandas library, that is fine. I'm good at data analytics and Excel formalizations, that is fine. If you're good in data visualization, that is fine. One topic, but it should be in and out. Nobody can put a single question on your code in that case.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, right? Again, that why is important. If you are not strong in anything, why do you want to go into internship? Is it just getting that pocket money, or you feel the other company is going to teach you? So they are going to give internship opportunity only when they see value.
Yeah.
So learning something deeply is also important. And yeah, maybe so I'll share my screen again. And you guys can tell me if when I open the chat window, is it visible to you all also? How does it go? Uh, so I think so somewhere we started talking about tips. Anyway, so other thing which I feel and Antrish will be able to add on top of this is why go and do internships and longer term internships? What is it that you can? Why do people say that hey, you cannot do something in your own hostel room, sitting in your own room, and you should step out, go into office, meet with other people? Because when you're solving something of your own, maybe you don't understand the real world complexities. Uh, when Antrish and I these days, when we are solving a Gen AI problem, again, we have to think of many things from real world data point of view. Something may seem very simple programmatically, but then trying to get data, clean up data, get access to data, those are the real challenges. And then we have to solve for those challenges. So this is one area. I mean, only when you start working in the real world, you will realize that, hey, what are the complexities? Am I only a coder who knows, say, data visualization, and I will be supporting that? But how to get clean data? How do you identify outliers when you're doing a data visualization? Can you really show them, highlight them? So there, I mean, in all the areas, you have to deal with data complexities. Then you have to overcome technical and communication challenges. Communication is again in team setting. How do you make uh, other people understand? You might have done group projects in a setting of 3 or 4 in the college. College might have promoted that idea. But then when you go into the real world, maybe your team sizes, you're dealing with 8 to 12 people. How is everyone collaborating, figuring out what is the other person doing? What is the dependency on the other person, and how do you all deal with those skills? And sometimes you have to be assertive to say, I am dependent on your code and you have to deliver it to me, otherwise I'll be late. Sometimes it will be the other way. How do you deal with that? And then when you go out in the real world, figuring out how do you become adaptable in the environment. You cannot control your boss or colleagues, but then you may find some people are very collaborative, some might be very harsh, some might be introvert, some might be extrovert. How do you deal with different personalities? So those are things again that you will now I see there are some chat questions. So I'm not sure. Maybe Nishad will try to address what you mean by pursuing other degrees as well. So maybe you're overloaded on the curriculum.
So
Is that what you're highlighting?
there are a couple of students, there are many students, I would say, who are pursuing a BTech degree from some offline institute. Along with that, they are doing this online degree as well. So there are some of, I mean, these students as well. So as I was mentioning that they can do an internship in parallel with this BS degree. So I think it was related to that question. That
Correct.
thing that they don't get that much time for being an intern.
With career grabs, I'm also good at this. There's your video for you know get PowerPoint is useful. Thank you. What all skills? So we'll cover this career gaps. Don't worry about the career gaps. And long run, see now that I can say from my experience, right? I have more than 2 decades of experience. No one is really going to look at my 1 year of career gap if I happen to have something after my 12th grade. So, in long run, these things will not matter. In short run, even with 2 years, 3 years of experience, if you're able to answer that question, any hiring manager will understand that situation. I mean, you should be able to honestly say why that happened. And I think the hiring manager, whether it's for internship or for employment, they will be able to appreciate that. I always believe in honesty. What skills and projects one should have for securing internship? We'll try to cover this space. Uh, so I think I did not get a lot of feedback on this part. Anybody wants to highlight they want to do internship for different benefits and other benefits they can think of? People can type in the chat or they can unmute themselves and talk. I'm okay with anything.
Guys, if you want to say something, just raise your hand so that we'll be able to unmute you.
What benefits of internship do you seek?
Uh, can I speak?
Yeah, you got.
Okay, sir. So like I see like some of the benefits in internship is we get to know our path exactly where we have to go and build our projects and gain some experience on it. So that's
Fantastic.
the, yes.
Fantastic. I think that's a good point, and purposefully I'd love that, right? You can experiment with your career. I mean, as a full-time professional, you may not want to experiment, but as an intern, maybe you can see, hey, do I like this industry? Do I like this kind of programming, or I want like something else? So 6 months you can try here, 6 months somewhere else, 6 months somewhere else. So definitely that experience will help you know, am I good at programming? Am I good at designing, strategizing, whatever is testing? Somebody might be good at automation testing. Who knows? So very good point. Anything else? Hands-on experience or not? I think I agree with that. You get hands-on experience, which you can talk about in your resume also. Benefit of doing a internship, and you have talking points. I mean, post your graduation, if you're seeking job, you'll have more talking points other than saying, "Hey, I completed my degree with so much of GPA and stuff like that." You'll have talking points of saying, "I completed this project. This is what I did. Maybe I sold something of this kind, built something of this kind." So that's
Also,
another
I
point.
think
What else?
connection we could build in, and as you also said, we could learn from the experienced mentors. There is a risk we could take while learning from the internships. While in job, it become kind of a fixed thing. So that is a part that I believe is good to be as an intern.
Good point, Naveen. And know more about career path. Uh, I agree with that. Paid internships are important. Monetary returns are a motivation for quality work. Aniket, I agree. So not from motivation, I feel yeah, paid internships are good for an employer so that they are not exploiting. It should not be seen as a replacement for costly developers or thinkers. So that's why I support paid internship. For your intrinsic motivation, I'll let you decide. Money should not be motivated. I mean, between two internship opportunities, if one is paying you 50,000 rupees, another one is paying you 25,000 rupees per month, I will not say that decide this is the amount of money they are paying. I would say decide depending on the kind of work and the learnings you will have. So many people, I think, want to talk about how do you get into internship and other areas. So let's go to that topic. 5:43 time check as well. And this is like more open forum, right? This is the point which Antriksh was also highlighting. Sharpen your technical skills. Focus on your core data science concepts like statistics, machine learning, deep learning. Focus, sharpen them, become strong in something, right? I mean, just saying that I'm pursuing this and yes, my professor taught me something doesn't help. You should be able to understand and articulate it, explain it to somebody else. Master the programming languages, Python, R, or anything that is relevant for your course and the area that you're trying to get into. And obviously, because this is a data science group, I would say that you should develop understanding of data analysis tools and libraries. And on this technical skills, my colleague Antish will be able to highlight more. Another thing of getting into internship also is while you're doing self-study, while you're developing your strengths, you should develop some projects on your own, put them on platform like GitHub, and that will be your showcase point from personal and academic point of view. So you should start developing your online profile on different developer forums, answering queries over there, helping out each other, or maybe on LinkedIn as well. You should participate in Kaggle like competitions to demonstrate again your problem solving capabilities. So these two areas I think are strong to really prepare yourself to get into internship. So these are like in individual capacity, something that you're doing on your own to make yourself that people will seek you as an intern. Anything on Antriksh you want to highlight more? I'm pretty sure you touched on the technical skills part that they should develop some core strength.
Yeah. So the main thing is, now, if you are doing a data science, okay, I always tell to everyone, try to understand your data. What type of data? What is the type of your data? What is the nature of your data? Okay. Until and unless you are not able to understand your data, you will not be a good machine learning engineer. That is a philosophy that we work generally. Okay. And I took up multiple interviews in my past. Okay. And when we took the interviews, I generally ask before the interview, can you share your Kaggle profile? Can you share your GitHub profile? Okay. So if it is a GitHub profile, it's a very basic projects is mentioned or the some pull requests. Okay. And if you talk about the Kaggle, there was a very basic Titanic or the house price predictions. These are they solve sometimes it's totally black. Okay. So if you're saying I spent 4 years or I spent a 1 year or 2 year at in data science learning, okay, and how it can be possible you didn't use the Kaggle, okay, or you didn't post any of the submission for your project, okay. So do a good projects. Now, okay, so I give you a simple example. You people are using Jupyter notebooks or VS Code, right? So guys, give me a minute. Sorry. So you generally use to write your code the Jupyter notebooks and the VS Code, right? Just give me answer, yes or no. Open your mic and tell me. PyCharm, you're using the IDs, okay? How you showcase your project? Just simply upload the get your Jupyter notebook or the code py file into a GitHub and give me the link, right or wrong? Yes, but it doesn't work. It never works. Because see, if I'm taking the interview in my organization, regularly I get 10 to 15 resumes. Do you think the technical evaluator of an organizations having a time to open the GitHub link and check your code? Then the students and the participants generally complain, yeah, we are not getting the shortlist. We are not getting the opportunities. Okay. Try to add another layer of your learning. Learn a full stack web development, use database, some front-end libraries of JS, HTML, CSS, right? Upload button, upload your data. It just gives you a simple basic of a selection of machine learning models through your backend APIs, right? Just get the result out of it. It's very easy. But that I'm pretty sure almost in data science people, those who are learning data science right now with you in entire India, those who are looking for the internship and the jobs, you will be 95% ahead with this. I don't have a time to open your Jupyter notebook or your VS Code or PyCharm code py file and evaluate what you have written. But if I have a deployed link, I can directly click on that and I'll see, okay, this is what he built. That helps you. Because see, 70 people, 82 people are there. If we remove the 10 people of the organization committee and me and Shobit, 70 people are there. Okay. So means 70 people are going to be look for the internship and full-time job of employment at the same time. Right? How we create the differentiator. How you are going to be create the differentiator out of your business or after with your batchmates. That helps you. Right? People generally we said we have a portfolio. We see people just download some templates from internet, just change onto the text, and that's it. Right? Try to deploy rather than on Versal or any other pre-hosted environment. Try to host on GCP or AWS or Azure. For students, you get the good credits. It's not on your pocket even. Try to use Google Cloud Service or any cloud services. I'm not telling you specific to any cloud, but for the any cloud services to host it, right? If you create any machine learning model, create a Dockerized container of it. Right? So that helps you. Yeah, Shubham, self-development portfolio websites. So it should be a clickable link of your projects. Suppose you do the simple data wrangling and the data visualizations like use of by using the pandas and the matplotlib. Just show all the visuals with the headings. Create your own data dashboards. Put some filters on it. Write some Python functions. Each function tag with the filters, right? That's create the differentiator. And that's definitely help you. No,
That's
Google
really very
Sites portfolio
insightful.
won't work. Sorry. Google Sites portfolio doesn't work. Yeah, that is fine, Dheeraj. You are beginner, you don't understand. That is fine. If you are taking a month to learn the HTML and CSS, that is fine altogether. If you are taking a 2 months to learn the NumPy only, that is fine altogether. Don't put yourself into the hurry. You have a 4 years degree. Generally, in BS, we have the 4 years of degrees, right? But make sure utilize these 4 years. If you are doing hurry, that's mean you are missing something. You lost something. Not missing, you lost something. There are a few other questions. You mean a website portfolio is better than the Kaggle GitHub profile? Your Kaggle GitHub profile should be linked with your portfolio. Generally, I click on 1 or 2 links maximum. If you have the 7 links, I never click on the profile because I don't have a time. Because when I have to take interview for my team, means I have to be checked for the hands-on, I have to be checked for their technical, their logical buildings, right? So I don't have a much time to click on each and every link what is mentioned under the profile. Rather, I click on the one link and just check what it is exactly mentioned.
So one question which we have got linked with this is like, what sort of skills do you guys look forward to while hiring an intern or like hiring a person for full-time role?
Okay, so for the internship or the full-time role, for me, it's the same criteria. Okay, I never create any differentiator. Okay, this is intern, so or this is the full-time employee for me. Because at the end they have to be working my team, and when they are working into my team or the Showbits team into the product or the AI/ML side, they have to be good into their machine learning skills. Okay, so I have seen one chat how we can start with the Gen AI and the LLMs. Before jumping into the LLM, you should be good into the NLP. You should be very good into the NLP. You should be good into the Spacey library, how you can use that, how you can modelize this. Okay. So go with
How
the
many of you have
basics.
actually tried out LLM open APIs or playing around with them, or did anything solve any data science assignment on LLM? I just want to see how curious this group is. How much do you go out of the course? Maybe by raise of hands, or we can count that. How many of have you actually? What libraries? What Antiksha is talking about? How many of you are familiar with that? Or when you hear Spacey library, other things, NLP libraries, PyCam, PyCham. So you're not comfortable with that. Okay. Only couple, handful of people have heard about all this. Only 2 people.
Most
Some
of the people here are from the foundational levels, so they
course,
might.
So when you say foundational level, so they have not really gone deep into data science or programming yet.
Yes, sir. They are learning statistics and mathematics, which are the basics for this data science itself.
they are done with stats and maths, and apart from that, many of the students here, I mean, the if we talk about the proportion of the students who are attending this session, they're more of like in the first year or second year. In the second year, we guys learn machine learning foundations and machine learning techniques. So in that, we guys build some projects as well. So NLP comes in the third year and fourth year of the degree. But yeah, apart from the college curriculum, students work on their personal projects as well. It's also happens.
Agreed. So yeah, you should not be dependent on the curriculum alone. These days, learning is not dependent on what the professor is teaching or what the college syllabus is, right? I mean, if you have time, bandwidth, you have passion, you have abundance of people or the libraries of videos out there to learn. So I think you should have a curiosity to learn, and you'll be able to learn quickly and start how internship or mentorship will help, right? You'll understand what to learn. Like when you talk to your mentors, like Antrik, they will be able to say along with statistics, they will be able to highlight to you why statistics is important. I mean, when we meet with the developers who are doing programming on LLM now, then we have to tell, hey, where is vector database coming? I mean, this is a worst word. And in vector database, suddenly they will hear about vectors, cosine distance, and other things. I mean, these are the things, mathematical concepts which you will learn in your, I guess, these are all foundational concepts. So why is that important? You will understand that, and hopefully you'll pay more focus on getting your basics also right. Right, Antriksh? I mean, people miss out on the basics and they want to jump onto, hey, I want to start coding on OpenAI or LLM.
Right, right.
So what else? So I think a couple of questions were on networking and resume. So we'll touch on those points as well. That how critical is networking to get into internship? But then I want to hear from this student group, right? What do you all mean by networking? What is it? So, I mean, if people are not interacting, so maybe let me take Pranav's question, right? He's saying that already a working professional, but not in data science domain. So you're working somewhere else, but you're learning data science. Do you suggest quitting the job and going for internship is a good idea? So again, Pranav, it's a personal choice where you have to decide what you gain by doing certain action and what is the cost. Whatever job you're doing, what are you supporting? Everyone's circumstances are different. So there is no universal answer, I would say. You have to prioritize that what is important. Why you want to get into internship? Is it again payment, learning, getting establishing a network? So I would so in any way group setting, I would say that there are no standard answers. It's all individuals who have to prioritize what is important to them. And what is Naveen saying? AI influencer added that you can learn AI in 20, 30, 50 days and get high paying jobs, which have increased expectations. Andresh, you want to comment on such people who are trying to make money? I mean, they themselves they don't get job and they're making money.
This is the answer somebody is asking. Can you clarify the myths and the realities? So it's a myth. It's not a reality.
See, I will tell you guys.
If in a 50 days, or I say if it is 100 days, somebody can be a data scientist, in today's time, half of the industry would be a data scientist.
So
we even saw
and generally what people think na, ki if we do the data science course, we'll get the post of the data scientist. Okay. It took me to 9 years to get the data scientist to use in front of my name. 9 years. It's
so
not
I'll
that
tell
easy.
you all a contextual thing, right? Where even RBI had to really jump in. So not sure RBI or SEBI. There are a lot of financial influencers who will tell you, hey, do these trading and invest your money here, invest your money there. And suddenly these influencers, they are becoming these financial advisors, they're coming under CB guidelines that firstly you have to be certified and you have to showcase your portfolios. And when they started showing their portfolio, they were losing money in their own portfolio. They were not being good investors, but they were probably good preachers. They could talk nicely, smoothly, and tell others maybe they were good in theory, not good in practical. So same way, I would say people or influencers who say, I can teach you or make you data scientist in AI in 50 days. I mean, if they can really make money, they should have gone into a job and be busy over there, right? Making money. Why are they trying to influence and say, I will teach you? They are making more money by teaching
I
you.
give you a simple example. You can go. Did you start learning the pandas library? NumPy you use, right? NumPy it is started in your life. Pandas library did you start? Right? What they in any course, what they do? pd.read_cs. Your file path, comma, and the separator. That's it, right? In my career, I never use pd.read_cs. I never used. Because I tell you a simple example, simple reality check. See, CSV file. What do you think? What would be the size of any enterprise organization's data CSV file?
Couple of GBs.
Couple of TBs, not GBs. I'm not
TBs.
talking
I
about the
mean,
GBs.
just a
I'm talking
sample
about
of
the TBs.
data.
No,
Sample file.
what would I do with the sample of data if I just want to do the recommendations, right?
Correct.
So there are a few things that you should know how to do the parallel processing. In general, your laptops and computers, you do the sequential computing. You complete one task, then the second will start it. Then second will complete, then third will start, right? These are the sequential computers that we use. So you should know how to handle the parallel processing of the large data sets. That comes into the data engineering. And in data engineering, that is why my first statement was first try to understand the nature of your data, from where the data science starts. Okay. See, I have near about a 16 years of experience. I have never used pd.read_cs. Can you imagine? Then in a 50 days, if they tell you, or 100 days, if they tell you and complete the pandas library in 2 days or the 2-hour session by using the pd.read_csv, it is no use of you in the organizations. Right? So better what you do, better try to explore with the Kaggle projects or try to explore some open source projects on GitHub. Okay. So it gives you some sense exactly what happens with the data in industry. So me and Shobit directly works with each other, and we do work with the healthcare domains majorly. In healthcare, where we work, which country and the compliances that we handle, we even don't have the authority to see the PHIs. PHI stands for personal health informations of any patient. Okay, we have to make it those informations first encrypted, evaluate at the back end, then system will decrypt for the evaluation, then again encrypt, and then it will show on the screen. So that it is required on the system exactly in enterprise organizations. Okay, so in 50 days, 100 days, you won't be able to learn these things. I'm pretty sure. Not a single course can give you a tag that you are a data scientist. That I can tell. Even I am. If I'm taking a session, I never said you will be a data scientist. If I would take the sessions for anyone in near future or later future, I'll be teacher or I'll be a guide for anyone. I never said. I will never said this to anyone. You will be a data scientist. No, you cannot be. It takes years.
Correct. And if you find a good mentor, see, they will make you aware of what you don't know. Knowing even that is important, right? Being student, you're not aware what all things should I be aware of as data scientist. And a good mentor will actually make you aware in 30 days, hey, these are the things you're not aware of deeply. So you should make a plan to learn these things in next 6 months, 1 year, do self-study or whatever you have to do, right? So again, you should be aware of what you don't know and make a plan that, okay, I have to learn because it is relevant. Somebody in the group chat also said writing on Medium or LinkedIn, blog post, all that help to get internship. What I feel is definitely it gives you visibility. You can stand out if there are two candidates, more or less the skills match, their technical skills match, and if somebody is sharing the knowledge with others, they will be seen better. Why? I mean, one of the methods of strengthening what you understand is by teaching others. If you actually write, I mean, these days, when I say you can create a blog using LLM also, right? So there's a difference, and people who are expert, they can figure out whether you have just generated a blog through LLM or you have actually written things by your own research, by experimenting yourself, by writing program, doing incorrectly, and then again correcting it and then noting that down. People will understand that. But when you actually start documenting such journals and sharing it with the world, you become better yourself to understand that, and obviously you're becoming then expert in that area. So yes, if you can write, not everybody is good at writing, but yeah, if you feel that you can write, maybe you can. It helps you make a network as well. It's not only that you are helping others to understand what is it. Maybe you'll find a peer group who will say that, hey, let's collaborate and write again on these topics. Let's collaborate and do a project because we have talked about this item. Let's do this together. So that will help you establish your network as well.
Yeah, there is one question. 9 years is a huge time. What you would do after complete your degree or college? I was a SD, simple software development engineer. I do my software engineering very good way. Okay. Then I jump into the data science. Then I do the clouds. Cloud is a part of a data science. We have to be know how you deployed your models, how you optimize your models, because we cannot execute a few models onto the on-prem solution, on-prem systems. It required the cloud powers, use it, how to use that more efficiently and the more effectively. So that's why I learned the cloud computing. Okay, software development was my core. I'm a good full stack developer as well. I know React, React.js, Postgres, MongoDB, everything I know. So there was a one statement that I passed on a Twitter a few years back. For a good data scientist, you should be a good software engineer, and I get a hell lot of things on my LinkedIn. It was trending on Reddit actually at that day, but in a negative way. People was yelling me like anything. What statement you passed, man? So it totally depends on you how you want to take your career ahead. Okay, it's not depends on me or Shobit. If I just tell you, okay, you have to be you do this and you have to be do this, and you just follow it. No, so you have to be think 4 years ahead when you complete your degree. Okay, so right, it's not the thinking you are just doing the LLM today and LLM will be there after 4 years. So it will be more difficult for everyone to judge after the 4 years what is going to be market trend. Okay, but consistent learning, daily put yourself into some struggle, write code, don't take help onto the on any OpenAI or GenAI tools to write your code. Write your code by your own hand, by your logics. If you are struggling it, just search onto the Stack Overflow. Use it in a good way. If you find any errors, you just go into the Stack Overflow, just paste it, and you will get the answer. So I manage the teams, but I write the code today as well for my team. So if you're good into the coding, if you're good into the logical building skills, data science is very interesting field. So I also know this is the very hot topic in the market. Everyone wants to be a data scientist, but it takes time. Good things take time.
So how would you rate DSA skills? I mean, for data scientist roles,
Data
how
structure
important
skills,
is
it
data
is
structure and
important.
algorithm? How
Data structure,
important?
see, data
Because
structure and logic development is the basic of any computer engineering. We cannot say, okay, binary search is not required. Why it is not required? If I just want to search anything, how I just make it more optimized by more application if I don't have any search algorithms knowledge, right? So, or the binary tree, it is required. It is the basics. It's a basics of computer science where you are going to be execute your data science algorithms or the machine learning algorithms, data science models, your LLMs, your Gen AI on your system, on your computers, right? So you should know what is the difference between CPU, GPU, and TPU. In which scenario I have to be use the CPU, in which scenario I have to be use the GPU. What are the power comparisons of the CPU and GPU and how we calculate it. Okay. So according to me, see, people said, "Okay, Antriksh, you said anything like that. Okay, data structure is required. Why it is required the data structure? According to me, it is required. I'll evaluate. If anyone is come in front of me, I'll evaluate onto the data structure problem statements.
so do you guys look at lead code and this sort
I
of
see.
things?
You
Okay.
won't believe if I just open up Before joining this call, I completed my today's challenge of the lead code.
Wow.
Before joining this call, I can show you. I regularly solve lead codes.
So Antriksh, one
Sir, I've
relevant
got
question.
one question.
Yeah.
Is it like, suppose one is not sure about what type of role does he want to work in the future? So is it better in that scenario to try out different sort of internships, or just randomly
Focus
on
on
one
one thing.
and
I said focus on one thing. Don't try multiple things. If you try multiple things, now it creates some different way of your different view of your um, on your profile.
okay?
Okay.
By
Thank you.
one thing, do you mean that we should, if someone is interested in generative AI, so they should just focus on NLP and generative AI thing and not focus much on the time series forecasting or maybe some other branch?
It is required the time series forecasting also. It is required for the Gen AI. Shobit knows recently we have solved this problem in one of our project. Why the time series forecasting is required in LLMs or the Gen AI? I tell you. See, what happens exactly when we execute now? It requires the tokens, right? For Gen AI, it requires a token, and token is totally proportional to your billing of OpenAI API or any Gen AI API. How many tokens we are doing in as an input and how many we are getting in a result as an output. So billing totally depends on input and output of the tokens. So if I just want to forecast the tokens of my product, or if I just want to forecast the billing of the Gen AI API, I need to do the time series forecasting. So these all are interconnected. You don't know which things is required for you at what time.
Okay.
Two questions. Hello.
So one of the questions, Antriksh, I think, which I found interesting, Arkish has asked, internship from institutes like IIT or some other college and internship from companies. Between the two, what is your take? If a student has opportunity from both the places, that hey, you can do internship at the college on this project and another one internship from a company. So while you think, I can share my 2 cents, Arkish, and for others. Again, it depends. I can share a story that there was one product which was developed by interns in US. So they were not necessarily interns; they were master MS students doing side projects or projects, I would say, as a research associate along with the professors. And over time, they had developed the product, done coding, done a lot of data analytics built into that product. But then, when the time came to commercially launch the product, it was not stable because functionality wise it was demoable, but then people were not thinking from scalability point of view, other things which a company thinks when they're focused on developing it as a product. So there are different skills. I am not saying all the colleges or professors are like that. Again, you have to figure out what kind of there's no standard answer, right? But then you have to really be aware of where you're getting into, who is going to guide you, what kind of process they are going to set. If you're working in a company, whatever you're working on, maybe there might be a senior who is going to review what you're doing, and that will help. Why is Antrish highlighting that you should deploy your code into cloud by yourself so that you learn the basics, you understand what is scalability, you will understand some nuances of cross team collaboration, what is happening. It's not that you want to develop your career as becoming a DevOps person to deploy things on cloud, but then you should understand the basics and you can talk intelligently when you're working in a larger team. That's what I feel. And yeah, so Antesh, if you want to add anything on doing internships from different places.
Yep, different internship doesn't create anything. See, like you are doing from a startup or you are doing the internship in a big brand, Fang or Man, what you have said in Gen Z people generally do, its impact. Okay. One thing that you have to be make sure you have to be never pay for the internship. Okay, there are a few organizations those who charge from the students. Okay, and it was a question also. Okay, sometimes the organization, no, a
Correct.
good organizations never charge for the internships. So, or you no need to be pay for any internship. Like you have to be complete this course first, then we'll give you the internship. No, these all are the money making schemes for the organization. So don't put yourself into this trap. Okay. Second thing, if you are getting a good professor of IIT, you are getting a chance to work under a good professor, definitely go ahead. Whether it's a free, if I get a free chance to work under a good IIT professor, now definitely I'll go without asking money, because the learning knowledge that I'll get now from that professor, that's beyond from the money that I'm getting. Because I know, because I have experience, I know if I learn something new from that particular professor, I'll make more money in my job. Okay. And Devin AI affect the data science job? No, this is all the hoax for the internet and the social media. Stay away out of it. There's no job loss for that. See, tell me, how many people think you can write a complete ERP system through a Gen AI? Anyone who thinks? Can you create a face recognition app through AI? Deep neural networks application? No. As of now, I don't have never seen this kind of application that is built through entirely through the AI. So just it's a social media thing. Just stay out of it. It never creates anything. So I have posted when the Gen A was launched last year, 2023 in January, February. I post onto the LinkedIn as well. There was a quote from the Mr. Narayan Murthy. When the computer came in the market, people said, "Kill job. There will be a job loss." Okay, so things comes, things goes out from the market, but it doesn't impact. So we are not doing the content writing jobs. Okay, we are not doing any desk job. It's a logical building. It's a logical development. It's required more and more skills. So stay out of it. It doesn't work on internet. Just leave it.
Naveen is raising hands. Naveen, you want to ask something? You can go on unmute first, Naveen, or maybe somebody can help him. Go on mute.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank for the wonderful session, sir. So I have two questions. My first question is, as I'm in the foundational phase of the course, so what I have is a bit of time that with which I can build up my skills. So first thing is, how can I build my logical thinking? As I have noticed that people have great logical think, people need great logical thinking to apply and to being accepted into the internship. So how can I work with the logical thinking aspect? And another part is what I'm as I'll be in next term I'll be in the diploma for the programming degree of our phase. So I was thinking maybe I could start with the internship of web dev or UI UX. Then as I'll do a diploma in data science later on, I'll switch to the data science, and after that I'll stay with the data science aspect as my final goal is to become a data scientist. So shall I took part for the limited time into the UI UX internship or not, or shall I simply start with the internship of data science only? Which one will look great on my resume or affect the perspective of the recruiter more? As I personally believe that doing a web dev would be a good for me to have a basic grasp of the coding aspect. What is your opinion on that, sir? These are my two questions.
This is for me or for Shobit?
Yeah, Naveen, go ahead. You go ahead.
Just 1 minute. Sorry, actually, I was going through another questions under the chat. Can you just please repeat your question?
One second, let me unmute you.
Sir, I was asking that my first question is how can I build up my logical thinking? I am from a different background. I was doing biology first, so my logical
Try to start working onto the projects, try to solve the problems. It creates automatically. There is no book in the market to create the logical building. Okay, you learn in your initial days of your schooling 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, right? You build that particular logic when you build, when you learn it. So in data science or in software engineering, you have to be work on your code. You have to be write the code first.
And my second question is that as currently I'm in the foundation phase of our degree. In the next term, I'll be doing programming and the programming part of the degree, which has web dev and its aspects of. So I was thinking maybe I could start with the UI UX or web development internship for an year or so, with which I'll build up my base of coding, and then as I'll be doing diploma in data science in next year,
That is
I'll
a good
switch
decision. I would say it's a good decision.
data science and stay with the data science. It's good, right? Okay. That's what I was
And
thinking. Whether
just to add, I mean, you should feel confident that you're from bio background and now you're trying to learn data science. If you try to think uh, medical, pharmacology, genetic engineering, all areas they need data science people of that skill set, because when you're doing a lot of analysis on genetic engineering or data that you're gathering by different pharmacies by doing your test studies, you have to understand the jargon which the scientists are using or the doctors are using, understand what does a gene splicing might mean, what are those uh, peptides and different things, ATGC on genes which are there, and how are you combining, what combinations are possible. And as a data scientist, you will help figure out the data and help the scientist understand it. So that should become your strength. Focus on your foundation, on what you're learning in logical thinking, and as Antesh said, there is no shortcut. Start solving programs, and that will help you develop your logical.
okay, so thank you.
And guys,
And so one
in the interest of time, I am highlighting. Maybe Naveen, we can give chance to others also. Yeah, I mean we are audio extended mode, so let's try to wrap up things in next 5 minutes.
Sure, sure.
So
Just
that
one more
is
question, if we can discuss. So it was about if someone is not very much comfortable with programming, but he has gained logical skills and he's pretty much interested in data science. So is there some sort of, I mean, designations on which he can work, like business analyst or something of that sort, where a person can work on? There are people with MBA background and non-tech background as well who are working in data science. So can you just guide if there's some student who's not that comfortable with programming, but he still wants to be in this field?
Guys, 1 minute. Shobit, can you please take it forward? I have to withdraw. I have another.
Sure, Trish.
Sorry.
Thank,
If you have any
thanks,
questions, you can connect with me on the LinkedIn. I'll reply over there. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
thanks, Antriksha.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Naveen.
Thank you, sir.
So, Rahul, if I understand the question, you're saying if somebody is not good at programming, but they have good logical thinking and they still want to pursue path in data science, what can they do,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, let's take the example of, I'm just putting Naveen audio on spot just to make a point over here, right? It's not that I'm predicting here something or doing something. Uh, if Naveen is from bio background, he can become a bridge between what a biomedical scientist might be saying and what the programmer. Naveen will maybe a person like Naveen realizes I can understand side A, I can understand side B, but I'm not good programmer myself. So he can become a communicator, and because he's good at data science, not in programming, but then understanding the outputs of data science, so he can effectively work with the programmer and he can guide him that no, this output doesn't look good, this is not statistically significant. Can you figure out some other ways? How do we get the right results? These results don't look good. Can you try out some control method also to test out what we are doing? And that way he will be able to guide that person. So he's not really guiding that person, he's working collaboratively with that person to solve a problem. So definitely, he and his title, obviously he cannot be called as scientist because he's not the core scientist. He will not be a data science programmer. But then, uh, maybe a programmer might get a degree like a data engineer, but he may still be like a data science. He may get a data science like he may not be a data engineer. So I don't think programming is necessary skill. Even being aware of the data nuances is effective to really say that okay, I understand what this team does, what other person does, and you can be the bridge.
Yeah. And what about these positions like business analyst and all these?
So that is a bridge part, right? They can get a title as business analyst, where you end up documenting things, figuring out what needs to be done, and then passing it on to a program.
Okay, sounds great. Anyways, we have just got a question that is Gen Z also hiring interns?
So I think that was my precondition. We are happy to engage you all, guide you all. And so Zenzion is not big company. Even if we start to hire, it's not going to be for 50, 60, 80 people. Definitely we engage, but then it's on 2, 3 interns at a time. That's what we end up doing. Like on Gen AI right now, Antish has 2 interns who are working with him. Somebody asked what kind of projects they might be working on as an internship. Again, it all depends on the company, what kind of projects you get. In the end, why we say company is looking for an outcome, right? They are looking for their own revenue and closing the deals. So they are not there to teach you, but they are trying to get the outcome where you can help. And that is how you have to position. That is why you have to become strong in something and say that no, I'm strong in this, but maybe I need a skill B also to complete the task, and I will learn skill B, which is required.
Sir, there is also one more question in the chat. They are asking, is there anything else other than Kaggle and GitHub where we can practice the real-time experience, practice the questions with real-time data or maybe some other data set, which actually is what you prefer?
No, so I mean, why not go with the popular platforms where you have a lot of data cleaned up, people are discussing on that data. Why do you want to, unless somebody is trying to solve a new problem? What we all did not talk about is that somebody can actually try to solve or do internship for their own ideas. Somebody was asking on the group chat, how do we get ideas? But there might, I'm pretty sure in the group of 70, 80 people, I'm hoping that there are at least 7, 8 people who have their own idea and they want to start something of their own and solve problems in India, start their own company. So they should parallelly start thinking of how do I confirm what the problems are, how do I get data to confirm that these problems are valid, and what can I do to solve these problems. In terms of looking for other data sets like Lead Code and others, there are a lot of groups where they try to solve and motivate each other to solve code, pull data, do analysis, share it. I will suggest get involved. Even a small, I mean, a Kaggle competitor might also be good, but then you should definitely look for data sources at popular places where people might have already cleaned up a lot of data.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
So it
we
was
can.
good. Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut
Yeah,
you, sir. Sorry to
we
cut you,
can
sir.
conclude the session.
Yeah, I will request for that, right? I mean, it was good talking to you all. Happy to see a strength of 70, 80 people coming together. I hope to see many of you keep learning. There are no shortcuts to learning. That's what I would say. Uh, you have to motivate yourself. In the online setup, you have to motivate yourself more. Uh, the way I started in the beginning, right? In online setup, it is very easy to get distracted and do multitasking. Uh, I was with media, so I know how we try to attract the talent, young talent like you, to go into short videos and make you addicted so that you just keep hooking, make you hook to the website, right? As a product person, that is the problem which I'm solving. That, hey, these are 22-year-old, 23-year-old. How do I make sure that they are on my app all the time? They don't study and they don't attend college. While attending college, they're still scrolling on my app. So that is the problem which I'm solving, and you should try to really break from that problem and say that hey, this is a hook that somebody has created. Let me be out of that hook. So I would say learn, focus and learn, and then don't be addicted to Instagram or short videos.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We are immensely grateful for the time and valuable lessons which we have learned. and thanks for inspiring us.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, sir.
You all
Thank
do.
you. And yes,
Good.
from the Student Placement Council side as well, we will make sure that we incorporate and integrate all your insightful thoughts, and we will make sure that the students have benefited from it the maximum extent. Sir. Thank you, sir. It was
Thank you all.
wonderful.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful session. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for joining in. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Guys,
For all
everyone,
the organizers, we will have a short meet after this. So Danish or Rahul, please share a Google Meet. So we will connect there as well. Okay.
Let us end up the live stream of YouTube.
Yeah, please end the live stream of the YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.